God damn, I didn't think we'd get one of these again. This dude was butt-ass naked, taking a dip while Osha watched. Like, what the hell? I'm not complaining or anything, I just think it's funny. Like, you didn't have to do this, you really didn't. You know, with so many cuts in this episode, I would rather just split it in half. We'll start with these chuckle fucks. I'm obviously talking about the Jedi and May.
My whole team is dead.
Honestly, not much really happens, and it's pretty cringe at times. May tries to approach Sol to kill him, but something happens to the ship that causes May to hold off for now. It is pretty adorable though that they try to have Master Sol mourn his dead comrades. I get it, I would be sad too, but I can't bring myself to shed a single tear. This was all their fault for being a bunch of buffoons throughout this whole show. Master Sol especially, he had this dude not once but twice. First, he catches the guy admitting to willingly helping May to poison a Jedi Master, but he doesn't do the obvious thing, which is put him in jail or interrogate him.
If you cooperate, we will consider letting you go with a warning.
Then, in episode 5, after beating his ass, sure, he doesn't want to kill him, whatever, but he lets him go instead of knocking him out. It's not like Osha had a stun gun on her that you could have used, or, I don't know, sleeper hold him. Do something besides letting him grab his lightsaber. And I gotta say, weird that they make a point to not kill him, but my god, is it fine if he possibly gets ripped to shreds by a bunch of roly-poly monsters. Absolute brain-dead morons these Jedi are. None of this makes any sense. Anyway, they have this annoying gerbil on the ship making silly noises as he repairs Osha's stupid droid. It's supposed to be cute and funny while also setting up for May's cover to be blown since this thing knows it's May. I hate looking at it though, and it's silly that this is what's gonna do May in. I hope she stabs it to death. Eventually, Sol has a moment with May and he tells her he will inform the High Council of this mission along with Brendok. But another issue happens with the ship and they get stalled again, so May goes out to fix the issue. We cut to Coruscant where Green Lady is doing some politicking. She's informed of a distress signal sent out by Master Sol that his entire team got dumpstered, so Green Person decides to send in a rescue team, including herself. And what happens next is so stupid, I swear to god. This fucking gerbil used Osha's droid to lure May in this one room. Why, you ask? So we can have a 2v1 where it's the gerbil and the droid versus May. Dude, what the hell was the point of that? Shouldn't May suspect something is up with that guy and kill it? It obviously knows who you are. It saw you back on Kofor. Like, what are you doing? After that nonsense, May and Sol have another pointless heart-to-heart. But what pissed me off the most was how Sol was about to drop the lore on what happened on Brendok, but the ship comes back online, and well, I guess we're back to dragging this part of the story out again. For some reason, May heads to the cockpit to start talking to the Jedi rescue team, and Sol stun guns her.
May.
The rescue team is on their way. Leave your transponder off.
Seriously, somebody kill this thing, I hate it so much. For whatever reason, Sol does something really sus and evades his rescue team. Green Lady and her team check out the spot where everybody died. She gets a vague idea of what happened through echoes of the Force, I think. But she does something really badass. She kills a roly-poly monster with her lightsaber whip. My god, she is so cool. Am I crazy though? Because that lightsaber looked really fake to me. Also, I thought these things were attracted to light, and it's sunny outside. Like, why'd it attack them all of a sudden? Whatever, dude, they head back to the ship. Then we have a final scene with May and Sol, and this dude is acting really sus.
We have a lot to do. First, you and I are going to talk. So you're going to listen.
I don't know where this energy is coming from, but that wraps up over half of the episode. Now let's get to the real content here. Oh my god, he's so hot. So yeah, after Osa wakes up and follows Qimir to watch him take a dip, it really is just a lot of talking between these two, which is fine. I love it when characters talk to each other. The only unfortunate part about all this is that Qimir has to converse with a wooden plank of a character. Whenever they talk about the relationship between master and pupil and how Master Soul is special to Osa.
Interesting you ask about him first, though. He taught you the Jedi arts, but he's more to you than that. A special relationship, isn't it?
I'm like, yeah, that's cool, dude, but it would be nice if you showed me more of Soul and Osa's relationship. All we got is like the flashback of Soul encouraging Osa to become his Padawan. We didn't get to see them bond unless you count the 15 seconds of dialogue where Soul asks Osa what's up with her tattoo. Also, you'd think Osa would be much more angrier in this moment based off of what happened in episode 5. But that would make too much sense. Meanwhile, here's Qimir, who's confidently trying to reason with Osa when she has his lightsaber in stabbing range. And I'm like, why is this guy not the main character? He's way more interesting. He's a Jedi who turned Sith and is familiar with people like Master Soul. I know he killed a bunch of Jedi and he's the bad guy, but he seemed to try and be nice to his pupils judging by how he was with May. And seeing him interact with Osa in a similar way, like granted the dialogue feels a bit tripe at times, the way he offers her a ship to leave or to stay and have dinner with him, it's not amazing by any means, but it's way more refreshing compared to everything else. I'm not gonna sit here and say Qimir is a good character. I need to see more. But for the majority of the episode, he is trying to connect with Osa, telling her about emotions, how they can be used to channel the Force, which is seen as the dark side of the Force, according to the Jedi. Then Osa decides to be upset at the fact that this guy killed Yord and, Jackie?
Who?
This is where things get a bit more nonsensical. I don't know how Qimir knows that Yord was the guy who wanted to turn Osa in for a crime she did not do.
You killed Yord.
A man who didn't hesitate to turn you in for a crime you didn't commit.
Unless I missed something here, I just don't know how he knows that.
It doesn't make sense. He gets into your head and he stays there.
I mean, it's a bit vague as an answer, but I'll go with it, I guess. I don't know what to think about his comments about Master Soul and Jackie on how their relationship would be one-sided. Osa has had enough of this guy's bullshit and walks outside, but Qimir encourages her to kill him and they have a back and forth on why she won't do it.
They didn't throw me away.
Then why aren't you a Jedi?
Because I failed!
Man, I really wish I cared. You had over 5 episodes to get me to like Osa, but you've given me nothing but cringe.
I'm better company than a droid. And, way more flexible.
Also, there's a bit of a problem here. In episode 1, they briefly go over her experience within the Jedi Order and say she left. But not once did anyone imply she failed her training and that was the reason why she left. Even Yord, who Osa herself said knows her history well, did not give off this impression when he should have. So this just feels rather abrupt, but not like it matters. Like, who the hell cares about Osa as a character at this point? I feel bad for Qimir for being forced to try and relate with this person. But anyway, he repairs his helmet and we learn he may have been betrayed by his master. I wonder who that could be. I mean, I'm just guessing right now. Apparently this Kratos' helmet blocks out all senses except for the Force. He offers Osa a chance to wear it.
I don't trust you.
Why are you still here eating his food then? Why haven't you tried to leave? And are you okay with this guy now? He's still a murderer. He's still a bad guy. He killed people you allegedly liked. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Oh, there's a Kratos' vein here, and I know this is some EU stuff, but is this supposed to be rare? It has the ability to short-circuit lightsabers as well as block them. I would like to know why we don't see more of this in like the prequels or other future Star Wars movies and shows. Honestly, it feels like this was put here just because it's a cool thing from the EU and no other reason. God, dude, I can't believe we're 6 episodes in and they still haven't told us what happened on Brendok. They do realize they have 2 episodes left to cover this, right? I have no idea how they're gonna wrap up this entire story and somehow have it fit into the prequel trilogy. But dude, I think it's finally time to learn what happened on Brendok. They've been dragging this out for over 75% of the season while also having it be a foundation for the story. In the second to last episode of the season finale, we're gonna learn who shot first and hopefully why. Alright, I've seen plenty of bad media in my time, but this episode is definitely up there in terms of just feeling like an insult. You'll see what I mean as I go through this episode. But yes, this episode will finally tell us what happened on Brendok. At least I hope so. There's probably some hidden bullshit based off of how they've handled this entire show. Basically, the Jedi are out here looking for a Vergence. It's a force power or source of power that can create life, and they assume it's here because this planet used to not have life, but now it does, so I guess that means the Force is involved somehow. They got actual metal detectors looking for this Vergence, dude. Don't waste your brain power on figuring out how this all works. I just shrugged and went along with it, otherwise I'd be here forever trying to figure out how Jedi Masters can't use the Force to locate or sense a high concentration of Force energy. Oh, I should also point out Torben thinks this is all a waste of time and he just wants to leave and chill out on Coruscant. While Sol was leveling his herbalism skill, this is when he finds the twins, just like how you saw in episode 3. So the Jedi were never really spying on them intentionally, they just happened to find them. And it's mostly just been Master Sol. Like, Master Sol is being a psycho. Like, he follows them to their home base and he actually tries to open the front door. What a freaking weirdo. He's actually climbing up this massive wall to infiltrate this unknown base by himself. And he does just get in and eavesdrops at a bad time. But you know, to be fair, I'd be freaked out too if I saw a bunch of cultists doing some weird magic. I'd probably assume these people are not nice, and perhaps these kids need to be rescued. Trinity wants to inform the council and wait for orders, but Sol convinces Trinity to investigate further, which apparently means to splice the main door and walk in to make yourself known. Alright, and it's pretty much the same scene from episode 3, minus one thing.
Torben, do you wish to escape this planet? I can help you. I can help you.
Yeah, so turns out, way before his eyes went all dark, this witch was already trying to manipulate him. She was able to pull information out of him, like what planet he's from, his mission, and his thoughts on the mission. Here's the problem with this. If she read that deep into his mind, could she not see that their intentions were not to be hostile? Could she not see that they didn't even know this cult was here and this was all by chance and possibly a misunderstanding? The point is, if you have all this information, why make it known you're inside his head? Why did she feel the need to try and turn his brain inside out or possess him?
No violence.
They tried to make out the mother as the more reasonable one, but this just seems pretty unreasonable as well as evil. You definitely should not have had this scene in this episode. You should have cut it. Trinity says they need to ask the council for guidance, but Sol feels like Osha is destined to be his Padawan. So he insists that they do test May and Osha, and we get to see May's test because they didn't show us that in episode 3.
Ascension means Osha and I will lead the coven. Mama said everyone must walk through fear. Everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny.
Trinity contacted the High Council for guidance, and honestly, there's an idea here I see them trying to explore. Master Soul has experienced Osha's true intentions. He knows she wants to leave, but the Jedi also know the cult will most likely not allow that. On top of that, the Jedi Council has said to not interfere anymore, and they've already overstepped, which is a fair point because they did just walk in unannounced without seeking guidance from the council. So this is like the only time the show has presented itself with a difficult choice. Do you continue to overstep these bounds, go against the Jedi Council to remove these two children from their family? Or at least Osha, who wants to leave, and this is with the assumption that these witches are up to no good. I mean, they've not exactly given off wholesome vibes. Or do you just follow orders and leave? Master Soul and Torben want to go in and do something. This is where I wish they talk more about that. Like, have Trinity, who's been the most logical one here so far, ask him what is the plan. So what if you feel like it's the right thing to do? You wish to go against the Jedi Council? What do you plan to do if they resist? Ignite your lightsaber and slaughter them? Questions like that is what I want to hear. Oh yeah, I don't know what Kalnaka wants. He's just kind of been here doing something. I don't know.
It's the twins' blood test results.
The M count is very high. Their symbionts are the same. Even identical twins would have different symbionts.
Only a virgins could create that type of power.
Alright, we got new information here, boys, so let's go inform the Jedi Council and see what they say.
This is our ticket home!
No. This is really how we're gonna do this. Of all the ways to have this Brendok incident happen, they're gonna have Torben go psycho to where he disobeys his master, the council, and goes in by himself to do God knows what. All because he wants to go home. What a fucking moron. Maybe it's a good thing he killed himself. Master Soul goes after him, but of course, because he wanted to intervene as well, he doesn't stop Torben. Both these two are idiots. How did Master Soul even become a Jedi Master? The second mother loses her mind and gets May all wild up.
Good girl. Get mad.
After the mother announces her intentions to let Osha leave, May locks the front door by smashing the controls.
No one can get in or out.
Witches, arm yourselves.
And then we get to the first scene that really did piss me off.
Mama!
Oh, it was an accident. That's the big reveal. May didn't really want to kill her sister.
I'll kill you.
I understand these are kids, and keeping their emotions in check is not their strong suit. That's not my problem here. You think you're so clever with this reveal, keeping it hidden for 7 episodes. You're not. If it was an accident, why in the hell does May not lead with that when she finally gets to see her sister again? Why did she not apologize to her and explain what happened?
You started that fire. And I would have been dead too if it weren't for the Jedi. They've brainwashed you. They've turned you against me.
You want to know why she didn't? Because whoever wrote this crap thought it was so clever to have these characters be idiots. So they can have this grand reveal, this missing piece of the puzzle, this promise that it will all make sense, all the way up to the second to last episode of the season finale, only to find out the answer we seeked was bullshit. I always thought this show was a funny joke, but I'm starting to feel insulted here. Master Soul and Torben show up looking for the kids and demand to know how they were made.
Someday those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
How dare you try and reference the rise of the Empire? You're not allowed to do that. It's a pretty tense scenario here, by the way. Soul and Torben just announcing themselves and asking questions. Torben is on edge. I would really like to see how the writers have this play out with just these characters. The last thing I want to see is some convenient interference that makes people act like imbeciles for no reason.
Help me! No!
What the hell just happened? Why did she do her witchy magic and turn herself into mist? Of course Soul was gonna stab you in that moment. I would too if you just do something so frightening.
I was going to let Osha go.
Well, why didn't you lead with that? You claimed you were gonna be a mother and let Osha go with the Jedi. You saw how the second mother was taking matters into her own hands and wanted to kill the Jedi. Use your words. Believe it or not, words are a powerful tool. You should know the Jedi were being reasonable if you can mind read them. What were you thinking turning yourself into mist like a freaking vampire instead of trying to mediate? Oh yeah, this is one more thing to add to like the list of things. May should have told Osha, your master killed our mother. Hell, why didn't she blurt this out to Master Soul when she fought him? Dude, this is so dumb. How did everything manage to get worse? How did it go so wrong?
Fight me!
Master Soul doesn't want to fight, so he's just kind of defending himself. The whole village starts to blow up. I don't know. There's no way a little fire managed to cause that level of chaos so quickly. This fight is going nowhere, so all the witches, and I mean every single one of them, use their powers to possess Kaunaka, who's just here, and they fight. It's pretty lame and uninspired. A lot of wide swings. Dude is a Wookiee and he can't even consistently overpower these two humans when he should. So then Trinity shows up and uses the Force to free Kaunaka from the witches, and this kills all of them. Yeah, sure, why not? Master Soul goes out to find the twins, and the second most insulting scene plays.
What have you done?
That is not how that scene played out in episode 3. You've lied. You've actually lied to me. The scene they show in episode 3 happened so fast that it looked like Master Soul just showed up to see them fall. But in episode 7, he was there using the Force to keep them both from falling. He was shouting their names, but you don't hear that in episode 3. And they fell way faster, but in episode 7, they stayed in place way longer. Yeah, fuck you for being so scummy with your cuts. Also, why didn't May tell Osha the Jedi killed our mother in that instance? You think that would be the one thing she would tell her since it happened pretty recently. Instead, they bickered. Whatever, man. Screw May. What an annoying little shit. I'm happy Soul chose to save Osha instead. Trinity is rightfully upset at the incompetence of her comrades. She's like the only decent character so far. Probably like the best character in the show, to be honest. Unless I missed something, she's the only person who seems to have a functioning brain. The only strange thing she does is choose to lie to the Jedi Council about what happened. The reasoning is to spare Osha the pain of knowing the truth at such a young age, as well as give time for Master Soul to get his shit together since this was mostly his fault. I mean, Torben is definitely to blame as well. Wait, this doesn't answer why he wanted to kill himself. He didn't kill a single person, and if anything, the witches seemed evil to him. They tried to possess him. What happened here should not be a cause to kill yourself, dude.
They started a fire.
So, can we all agree that that episode was absurd? What a bunch of nonsense. That was the big reveal they've been waiting to drop on us all this time. Like I said, the only okay part of this episode was Trinity. I'm kind of upset she died within the first 5 minutes of episode 1. Everyone else sucks. Master Soul, Torben, May, Osha, the witches, screw all these characters, dude. What's even the point of a finale for this shit show? What is there to look forward to, genuinely? A steamy romance with Qimir and Osha? Is Osha gonna be his pupil? Will May and Soul tell the truth about Brendok to the Jedi Council? Who cares? I just know it's gonna be a cliffhanger to tease a season 2 of the Acolyte. They got some nerve to try and set up for season 2 if this comes to pass. They don't deserve it. However, if you want to redeem yourself somewhat, just kill May in the finale. Just kill her. I beg of you, kill this character.